Okay. Do I show myself saving it and what I titled this? Hang on. This is we're doing our own data world time travel here. Do I save it? Did I save it? Where'd I save it? Look, in my okay, drive thumbnails. Good old me. Look at that. Keeping keeping me in check. Hell yeah. Okay, drive thumbnails. Where is it? What do I call it? There it is. Hey. Bada bing. Baba booey. There we go. Oh, I'm so happy I did display capture. Mizu, this is what being a 4D entity is like. That's exactly right. Wait, did I wear the same shirt? Oh my god, I did. I didn't. I did wear the same shirt. Dude, Kingdom Hearts is light. Yeah, I did plan all this. I'm here to educate you. All right, we're here to talk about how everything's cyclical. Okay, let me pull up some music. I'm gonna have Kingdom Hearts music gets like murdered on YouTube. I didn't like VOD mute stuff. I don't know if there's one I can pull up here. I can Twewy would be good. We can put on Twewy. I don't know if Twewy gets nuked, but Twewy is very important. Twewy. Okay. Turn this down a little. All right. So. Well now. Welly, welly, well. Welcome back, everybody. You have to have a body in the past to travel to, and you need the same clothes to feel the same, yeah. Yeah, Toei might be more relevant. I still haven't played New Day, whatever. Okay. So, in this old little thingy here, right? Here's my big theory. Okay. My big game theory is that the final world is basically Kingdom Hearts is going to happen again, but backwards. Is like my big theory. Okay. Yuzora is, you know, night sky, teehee, wow. Isn't that cute? I think more people are catching on to this too. I am positive that Yuzora has a power of sleep. Sora has a power of waking. Where, you know, you travel to worlds through hearts or whatever. It sounds similar to how Darkness mentions that it travels across like wires and shit and how it spreads. So I think that, you know, sleep, death, darkness, they're all kind of the same thing, you know? In KH, they say like that this is like sleep and death touch and shit like that. And that's a very old like mythology idea. Like this very, very old mythology shit, talked about this. And in our little, let me move this. In what we've played so far of Kingdom Hearts, like really just this part right here is all I have to worry about. This little thing. So what we've been playing through the entire game right now, we're in like Disney stuff. Like there's in the beginning, it's a storybook, which is also important. It's a book. A book is also like data, in a way. It's not necessarily fiction. We'll get into that. but like, you know, the story opens, it's like a little storybook thing, and it's like then we had the kids had like light hearts and stuff, and there's all these little Disney ass worlds and shit like that at the beginning of you know, Key. It's like what is it, Kyrie's grandma talking to Kyrie and shit at the beginning. But right, we've been in this little whole sector of the world right now. There's a world of light, there's darkness, there's shit in between stuff. I'll probably like make if I ever make like a big like 20-minute long, I could probably go for an hour, like theory video thing. I'd pretty this up, but you know, this gets the job done. There's a world of light, there's in between, and then there's darkness, right? And then darkness, like everything, like sleep, like dreams, data, and like the sky, like water and sky are the like two recurring metaphors for like light and darkness. And in the beginning of Kingdom Hearts, we see Sora continuously sleeping. Sora's like falling, and then he's sleeping. Like the first thing after we know that the Station of Awakening or whatever is in a sleep world, and then he gets woken up by Kyrie and shit like that. It was like the very, very first thing. And he's like, I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this real or not? So I still think this is up for debate, that this is real or whatever, because I think they're going to go to a macro thing of like, if you believe in it, it's real to you type thing. I think is what they're ultimately going to do with like Kingdom Hearts or something. But with Sora questioning it, you know, with the way Daybreak Town was kind of glitching out as well, like breaking at the end, I could see easily like, it's all a video game, Sora. Like, we over here in our world, like everybody knows Kingdom Hearts. Like that, I've heard of you. You're Sora. You know, that might be a thing, maybe. But dreams are their own thing. Data is its own thing. But at this point, every motherfucker goes everywhere. Like, we just had to with like, oh well, if data gets realized, then it's real, and so you can like data has real shit. Whatever. Thanks, Masters. I appreciate it. Okay, data can now be light or darkness or whatever. Sure, fine. We kind of knew that already. And then there's you know, dreams can be traveled to from any place at all. The data can be a real thing. Memories hold dreams. Dreams are also kind of based on memories. You can get memory, like everything. Everything's fucking touching at this point, right? So that's fine. That's okay. All this shit over here is fine. That's fine, right? The next thing to address is world lines. World lines, I think, function like this, where I mean, there's two ways it could work. Either there is like a continuity that Sora is jumping between. You know, when Sora like time travel and stuff, there's like, here's the here's where you started Kingdom Hearts 3. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 already happened. Sora died, and then at the start of Kingdom Hearts 3, you see Sora like waking up and looking at these mirrors and shit. He's looking at memories of stuff. He's like kind of getting acclimated to this whole thing, and also like it's a final world where there's a little crystalline dark side guy at the beginning. This will make so much more sense when I have like little visually guides for stuff. But I believe that he, like, there was a timeline, like one of these was a timeline where we went through Kingdom Hearts 3 and we didn't play this one. Kingdom Hearts 3 happens, Dark Tower happens, everybody dies, you know, light will expire, blah, blah, blah. And then Sora uses the power of waking, hops world lines, and then we play through it again. And this is what you play. You play this. But this could be how the world lines are defined, or world lines could be all in the same continuity, but just like there's a world, here's one Keyblade Graveyard 1, and like here in this one, oh fuck, let me move. There's like Keyblade Graveyard over here. So there's like Keyblade Graveyard over here, where everybody fights and Dark Tower kills everyone. And then Sora's like, fuck that, I'm hopping over this bitch. And then he jumps to another one. And it's all technically still in the same like reality. So world lines either work like this, where it's like multiple versions of the world are contained in like the same whole thing, or it's like completely different like realities in a way where you can like jump between them like this. And this is something that you're not supposed to do. Okay. And then we have over here Yozora. It's important that they meet in this little final world thingy. The final world being the thing that like kind of connects everything. The final world is where all this shit leads into, but also all this shit leads into. Like, this is where everything touches. And what do you know? It's a big expanse of sky and water. That's all it is. It's where light and darkness converge. So I still think there's going to be some element of like, you know, in this, the way this world works, you know, the way the rules of physics work over here, anywhere light shows up, it casts a shadow on stuff, right? Anywhere there's a light source, it's gonna cast a shadow somewhere. Here's a little dark guy. Here's a little darkness, and he's all angry, and he's a big monster. Grr. Just by existing, light casts a shadow. That's what Master Masters was saying. So he's like, well, I can go to a place where darkness doesn't show up at all, because it only exists in the minds of people. And if people being potentially strong heart vessels of light able to counteract darkness shit, that might mean that, you know, that's how fiction can exist, because fiction is kind of this ideal. Fiction is like, you know, darkness exists in the real world, and darkness certainly exists in like stories and stuff. Bad things happen in stories, but it's all idealized. It's like, you know, you can kind of project everything in your little, however you want it to be, right? So I think this still kind of fits in with darkness and light. I still think Master of Masters is light embodied. He might not be like this like primeval light at the beginning of time. I think he might be. He could have also like adopted it. Like he could have been a vessel that like light kind of came into. Now that's like a whole fucking thing. And then darkness saying that they can like take over anybody. You know, darkness and light have been fighting for a very long time, and they might have been jumping world lines already. There's nothing saying that darkness and light didn't fight over here, write the book of prophecies, and then went, okay, well, fuck that. Let's try this again. Like, there's nothing saying they couldn't have done this stuff too. So with that in mind, Yozora existing, being night sky, they touch right here in the final world where light and darkness meet. But it's at a nighttime version of it, so Sora's like kind of flipped. He's like over here now, kind of more so here. It's like light over here, and it's dark in Yozora's version of the final world. But we know that the final world happens in Yozora's dream. So like I said, everything fucking connects everywhere, blah, blah, blah. Like, it really doesn't matter how you get there. You can get anywhere from anywhere at this point in Kingdom Hearts. If you want to get somewhere, you can get there. Doesn't matter how. I'm sure they'll come up with some bullshit explanation, but you can get there, right? So Sora, having like expired from this world, he comes up over here. How he got here necessarily too is going to be interesting. I don't know how that's going to work. I know I'm talking more about, this is the shit that interests me more than other things. Like, there was this stuff in, you know, that we just saw that's also pretty like cool. But I still think this is where most of the story is I'm interested in big picture stuff. Like, I know there's all these YouTubers who will talk about the characters and what the characters do. You can do that. That's fine. I'm more interested in what is happening. What's the big thing that's happening next? I'm more interested in that. And I think that seeing that darkness, how it's like I can travel across these wires. So, you know, like everywhere, everything. So like basically everything's connected over here. Darkness is like, ooh, I'm gonna spread everywhere, right? Dude, Proma time extinct? I feel like I said that horribly wrong. Thank you very much for the sub. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I've been like rambling for a second. Let me see what chat's saying. Can we talk about alternate translations when we get to the newer stuff for theory? Yeah. Dream drop distance hits different now. Yes. Yes, like every data person traveled to dreams now because they went to sleep in data, so they became a dream. If you sleep anywhere, you can become a dream, which can go anywhere. Like that's really what to gather from this. There might be some logic to it where it's like, oh, you have to do XYZ to get over here, and then you have to do ABC to get over here, and you have to do PQR to get over here, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care. I don't care what the rules are. We have learned that you can get to anywhere from anywhere if you believe hard enough. Got it. Thanks, Kingdom Hearts. That's it. Yeah, our party members were dead children. Now that we know that we are evil, potentially. Potentially. You want to know where Nomura's going with all this? And I'm right there with you. Yeah, I want to see what's on his little docket. What's in his little folder. He has his own little map, I'm sure, of just like how all this shit like connects at a macro level. Because like we're gonna have fun little thingies with characters doing things, and the character stories are obviously like the important part. I think it is pointless to speculate about characters, because you know he's gonna do whatever. But I think it is fun to speculate about like the greater world stuff, like the world of Kingdom Hearts that we're getting is very exciting, because for a while it was just this. Like for a while it was this over here. Really, it was just this. Like for a while it was just this right here. But then we got this. We got world lines, and then we got this. So we got a whole other half to it, right? So who knows? Yeah. The Dead Key Kids thing, it was really good. That was a good bit. I like the player being Xehanort was really cool as well. I was hoping for something like that too, and it makes sense because if you think about it, what has the, you know, us in our little reality, us playing the video games, and we make the characters do things. The only characters we've played as are like light vessel fellas. So I thought it was interesting that we got to play as Xehanort in a game. Like there's something going on there. So getting to play as him in Dark Road, which I think is also going to have like its own little update thingy in September or something. We'll get that lore dump from shit there too, with Xehanort's, you know, world tour before he decides to kill everyone. That's cool. I don't know if that recontextualizes anything he's said. Potentially with some stuff with young Xehanort is I still think the only thing that's worth going back to is Kingdom Hearts 1, Toy Box, and Traverse Town and Dream Drop. Maybe The World That Never Was in Dream Drop as well. Those are the only three things I think matter to what is going to matter in Kingdom Hearts. I think everybody else's little character arc is gonna wrap up however. Like Ephemer's probably dead from old age or something, I don't know. And he kind of travels. Some light comes from the past. Cast a light bright enough, you know, lights from stars are millions of years old. Starlight, Keyblade. That all works, that's fun. Woody roasts us with no love. I know, right? No one ever loved you. What about Remind? I think Remind still just opened up this thing more. Like Remind just kind of more concretely answered the time travel question. I still think that's what the world line thing is. The other thing too is the unchained state that it was like kind of referred to. I saw this one. Sonny Novus had this cool theory where he was like, you can kind of visualize a chain connecting these world things, right? Like all these are kind of connected in some hierarchy. Everything is connected, right? Like with some bullshit rules or whatever. You can kind of view it as a chain. And then the unchained state would mean you're able to fucking do whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. You're not chained down to like the laws anymore. You can break the rules. We still don't really know what that means. I like that interpretation of it. Yeah, a chain of memories. Hell yeah. Memories, like, and that the memory thing also ties into so I'll come back to the card as well. Memories can be turned into cards. That's important, by the way. And also in, I think, the gameplay of, Chi, Union Cross stuff, whatever. You're fighting with, like, things that represent people. And in Dark Road, you're also fighting with things that represent memories of, like, future people and stuff like that and whatever. And Luxor gives Sora a card. I don't think that's, like, he still has the ace up his sleeve, if you will. And I think whatever that is incredibly important. And with, I fuck with the theory that Luxor is from here and somehow got over here. Like, because him being the driver, like, it is so clearly his voice when he's like, "Splendid, is it not?" I can fuck with the idea that Luxor came from over here. I like the idea of, Ludo, playing games. That's his whole thing. You know who else plays games? Haha. The player turning into Xehanort does shoot down the player turning into Yuzora, which I thought would be really fun. But I don't think it writes off the idea that, like, I still think a playable Verum Rex or something involving him. He's in a fucking video game. I think whatever player relationship happened with the player in Union Cross and shit with Sora, and how canonically Sora has never lost, if you think about it. Another thing, they could even work this in, that every single time Sora dies, because I'm telling you, I think this is what will happen too. Every single time Sora dies, every time you died and said, retry, because that's what he's going to do. I'm telling you right now, that's what he's going to fucking do. Every little gameplay mechanic is going to have a lore reason, because that's what he does. Every time you died, and your heart showed up, it didn't completely disappear like a Heartless did. Us, the player, had the power to hit continue and go again. Well, where did that happen? Whoop! Hop a world line. Do it again. Hop a world line. Do it again. I think that's probably something there. Yeah, like the battle with Xehanort. On the checkpoint. I guess, like, yeah, he did kind of lose against Norded Riku. That's true. So yeah, I guess he has fallen, but just more so in the way, like, I was really just illustrating the point that you can retry battles. Like, that's scripted, if that makes sense. There are things that are scripted, but in every battle that you, the player, had to play, you did it. You won. Every time. Yeah, so Sora broke 1 billion taboos. And I think there is something about his connection with us, the girl reading this right now. Yeah, how much does Mickey actually know, since we would call for help sometimes? I'm not sure. I don't think Mickey knows a ton more than we do, but he still clearly knows a lot, because he fucking, retconned that what's in the letter at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, and he's like, "Oh, take your Mark of Mastery." Did fucking Nomura know what a Mark of Mastery was at the end of 2? He might have done the fucking Mastery exam. But I'm not sure, Mickey's wife did trap Pete in an alternate dimension. Maybe. Tracy, thank you for 12 months. Hello. And yeah, speaking of the Timeless River stuff, Timeless River is very important. I don't think Timeless River is actual time travel. I think Timeless River is just a memory. Just like how in 3, we go to Scala. Like, we enter the memory of Scala through Xehanort, right? Like you're answering it that way. You blast them and you open up a dream portal because these are all this. It's all the same shit. Memories and whatever, right? It really doesn't matter. So you can kind of traverse them that way. And same with Melody of Memory too. When Xehanort shows up at the end, it is a memory within data. Like this is a whole thing here too. Like Kyrie is exploring this shit in Melody of Memory, and Ansem shows up as in both. Like he manifests from a memory into data with new information, kind of, right? Just it's like shit she forgot, basically. And then when she loses that fight, like what happens? Fucking Sora, who's over in Fiction Town, heads over and hits the continue button because he's controlling her now. Like, cause that was her body. In like all those little boss fights, she's just remembering what Sora did. But the one in the final world was her, kind of. It's like it's a whole thing. But he's like, oh, he's where your voice can't reach him. Just like we can't go like, hey, Sora. Hey, Pikachu, get the apple. Get the fucking apple, Sora. The apple. You can only interact with the game like this. He can't physically hear your voice. Yet. PlayStation 6. Kingdom Hearts 3.9. Block low, Sora. Yeah, like Three Musketeers was a Sleeping World. It's like when a heart takes over a vessel, how it appears changes. Yes. Same with Riku at the end of KH1. Boom. He turns into Ansem. Also shit with like your voice can no longer reach him where he is. There might be something going on there. Maybe. Because they said that again with this shit. Xehanort realized that Sora was an NPC at that point. Yeah, and him going, this is not what was written, when he dies, too. He's like, what the fuck, Sora? You're breaking the rules. If these theories don't turn out true, you have a basis for your own insane game world. Exactly. Exactly. What do you think about Riku knowing what we know now about Dream Eaters? I think it does, like, kind of... I wonder how that recontextualizes the Dream Eater stuff, because Riku being a Dream Eater for Sora, and, like, the other Dream Eaters kind of being there. Another thing, too, with, like, the Dream Eaters showing up in, like, reality, I don't think there's a ton to glean. Like, you know, originally when we were playing stuff, like, you know, oh my god, Data Twilight Town is, like, not real, whoa! Chain of Memories, whoa! Like, this was big back then. But at this point, like I said, there's no rules. They all touch each other at some point now, who cares? This is the big spice. This is the caliente shit over here. I don't think anything shocking comes from Riku knowing this stuff. Or being a Dream Eater. We know the Master disappears over here. Player turns into Xehanort. That Chirithy probably comes to Final World, right? It makes sense if you think of Riku as a Chirithy. Yeah? Yeah? Is that what that was? The reference? Yeah, like this thing too. Our friend Nomura has literally never picked a symbol without shoehorning in some bullshit on it. Like Sora having an X on his outfit became a fucking plot point. Okay? So this is important as well. It's like a world of this, right? Yeah, and this is what they use to annotate things. This is a symbol that they use if you've watched anime stuff before. I don't know if any of you have ever seen one of those. Sometimes you'll see this symbol show up as like a little footnote thing at the bottom of the screen. They'll be like, hey, this thing showed up. This little thing here. It's really like this being an asterisk, right? When you think of this as the asterisk, okay, what's the purpose of an asterisk in besides saying that you glomp them, that Sasuke glomps Sora, and notices your bulge, woo. Typically, it conveys information that I'm already thinking this is where my wheels were turning. An asterisk conveys information outside of the fiction, if that makes sense. It gives context only to the person participating in it. It is useless on its own. It exists only to annotate and add context to things for the reader, the viewer, the player that you don't see in the normal story. There might be something there with that, potentially. Something like that. They can also be used as a descriptor for things. It's called a reference mark. Basically functions the same as an asterisk, but there's something on the French wiki. In Unicode standard documentation, the reference mark is used when the name of a character is incorrect but cannot be changed, and Yuzora's jacket has a symbol on it. Yeah, Yuzora's jacket having the symbol too. Yuzora's jacket has the let's fucking look at Yuzora here. He has the key thing on him. The little skull crossbone key fucker. It's not exactly the same, but I see what you're saying. That is worth bringing up, though. Yeah, this thing. This dude. I'm blocking it. This is from some. Where the fuck? Is that a good picture of it? This is basically the. Hang on, let's open and I'm gonna new tab. So like, he has this little skull thingy and like the little keyblade has like the little crossbones here. I just saw somebody talk about like an interpretation of this that I think linked with 13. I don't remember. But yeah, I could see that there being that thingy. Yeah. Yeah, and he's got the got the little interior shit on his coat too. Yeah. I see that. I see what you're putting down. I see what you're putting down. I see it. I see it. I see it. It also looks like a chessboard. Hold up. What does this guy on Twitter say? Why is it not? Oh, whatever. Yeah, that key, that thingy. Yeah. I think, and also, like, he's going to cram as much symbolism as he can in every little thingy. What is it? You got 4 dots. Quadratum, right, square. But this, like, kind of forms a square in a way. Like you draw around it, kind of get the square. If you like connect all the little dots, kind of. I think this, the meaning of this, like it said, being the reference mark, being an asterisk, like specifically, I see that like, meta. I go way meta. What's the most meta reading you could possibly do of anything that they show up now? That's what I think is going to happen with what has happened in Remind, basically, and Melody Memory. Like, both of those are implying that just this crazy shit. Yeah, 4 dots and an X, right? The more going to his plaid phase while introducing Quadratum is still coincidence. Could Scald have ended up in that world? Maybe she could have. Scald could very well have ended up over here potentially. She could have ended up over here. The true Dandelion thing as well with Luxor doing the taking data. I am like 99.99% positive that was data Strelitzia. It could be a little twist later, and I don't know, maybe it's fucking Ericus. Who fucking knows? Just something crazy. But I think data Strelitzia as the true Dandelion could end up over here as well. You know? Nameless Star could be Strelitzia, potentially. Could be Subject X. It's like basically Strelitzia, or I think somebody ended up over here and is the Nameless Star that we see in the final world. And it's either Scald or Strelitzia, and I'm not sure which one it is. Yeah, and Luxor became Brain, who is Braig, who is Zigbar, yes. Ava as well, we don't know where Ava went. Ava went somewhere. Ava could be over here. Yeah. Can they be the same? That's a good question. Maybe they could be the same. Seven Darknesses. Yeah, this whole 7 Darkness 13 thing, like 7 being a lucky number and like 13 is like bad. So you take the 7 from the 13, leaves you with 6. Which didn't Darkness say that there were 6 left? And we see 4 of them. Nintendo 64. We see 4 of them are stuck in data hell, but that doesn't really matter. They can get anywhere, right? Them being stuck here doesn't mean anything because fucking, you know, the player was able to get out and turn into Xehanort. This little data darkness could very well turn around to inhabit you know, the foretellers. Yeah, the 7 deadly sins, exactly. Like they're all named after that shit, you know. Which in turn leads on to believe that Vanitas, yeah, Vanity is one of the 13. I say Vanitas, I don't know why. I know it's Vanitas. The 1964 Tokyo Olympics. I like where we're going. But yeah. Darkness was the thing that told us to leave Ventus and Remind, right? I think so. I don't know if that's like proven, but I believe so. The Nomura Code. Also, next thing that's going to be really important. The World Ends With You is absolutely going to be incredibly important. I have to go back to, like, after seeing all this shit, I want to go back and basically look at all the cutscenes. I want to play through The World Ends With You and see the final report thing. I think, I'm not going to bet on it. I think that Neo Twewy is going to have a reference to this somewhere. I don't think it's going to be just like and I think it kind of plays into the world line idea potentially, because in Twewy there's like, you know, everything's about like vibes, and there's like the real ground, and there's like the underground thing, you know, and it's all like you can kind of look at people, you know, like when you're dead, you can look at people, but they can't hear you or some shit, right? There's a connection kind of there about like players game thing as well. In Twewy, they are called players. They are playing a game. We are players playing a game about players playing a game. Meta on meta on meta. Exactly, your words can't reach them. Yeah, real ground, underground, and now QG, quadratum ground. In case 3's OP, it ends with Sora looking up. Maybe he's looking at Kyrie. Melody memory, potentially. Yeah. Does this mean we are dead? Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. Neku equals player equals Xehanort. Yeah, I mean, maybe, you know. It also, I think that's a fun thing too. That also helps kind of put together how, like, Xehanort just has this kind of magic knowledge for shit. He just kind of, he's just like the bullshit. He's just the bullshit vessel to always know these things. Because he's the player. He knows all this shit. You know, the players say it, we are dead. Yeah, Fist of the North Stars. We know that 7 are accounted for in the Master of Masters and the Lost Masters. Yeah, and the one Master of Masters talking to is likely the one possessing him. Then 6 were in Data. 1 possessed Ventus, 1 likely possessed Strelitzi or something. The one posing as Ava, and the other 4 are trapped by player. Yeah, so the Foretellers. Maybe the Lost Masters too. That whole angle too of like cultivating people with strong hearts to be carriers of darkness. Here's a thing that also never gets addressed that I think is also incredibly important. In like terms of Kingdom Hearts like dark bullshit. Why does nobody talk about Anti-Sora? Why does nobody talk about Anti-Sora? Why does nobody talk about like his fucking rage form? This is I mean in the game. Like, does nobody talk about it? Does nobody mention it? Does anybody see it? Like, in the fucking final fight, Xehanort shoots you with the Keyblade, and you become, like, total darknessy shit for a sec. And then, teehee, it's fine? What the fuck's that about? That's always been there. Well, not always, but, you know. You could argue it's been there since he turned into a shadow and got back. But, like, since 2, that has been there, right? Right? Does that... And, like, here's the thing, right? So... like, my theory, right? Rage form only happens when you suck. Right? Like, I don't think you can't trigger it automatically, can you? It's random or you suck, right? Like, it doesn't happen on its own. Yeah, it's right. It's damage based. The only time it's forced on you, I think, is 3? Does anybody, like, does he comprehend what's happening? Does he know it even happens? Yeah, you're right. It is possible to completely avoid it in 2 if you're lucky. It's possible for it to never show up. We do see it. We see a dark Sora at the very beginning of the first game. Like that has been there from the beginning. But that Sora like coming out as a thing being controlled by us, because presumably Sora is not controlling himself in that moment. It never shows up in a cutscene. Sora controls himself in cutscenes. The only time that has shown up is when we are in control of it. Yeah, and it's never brought up in cutscenes, ever. So, like, you can argue that, you know, all this other shit about, like, us playing stuff and progressing the story and fate and, like, all the shit that happens is destined kind of in a way to happen as long as you just keep mashing your head against it. Sora is bound to beat, you know, Xemnas and Ansem and Xehanort ultimately, because that's what's scripted, right? That is scripted. It has to happen for the story to happen, right? It's in the book of prophecies, as it were. Makes sense? But Rage Form isn't. Yeah, it literally turns off for cutscenes and then turns on. Right? So what the fuck? What's that about? Yeah, of course, Nomura wrote the Book of Prophecies, of course. Of course. I think that plays into this a little. With the darkness infects things and travels across wires. Also, I think there's also another thing, too, about all the way back to KH1, that Sora was not supposed to get the Keyblade, that Riku was supposed to get the Keyblade, remember? Whole big thing, that. We are defying the prophecy. When you beat Xehanort, he says, this is not what was written. Yeah, you could say that, yeah, Vanitas, technically, kind of there. I kind of tied to Sora's connection to Riku's fear about himself, something Sora knows is important but takes upon himself. Ooh, yeah, I can see that. Because the first person Sora talks to is darkness, yeah. Yeah, and he loses the beam struggle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, to that end, I feel like Riku... What did they say about becoming a Dream Eater? Do you have to be light? Or was it just like a strong heart thing? Like, what'd they say? What'd they say about shit? Was there any like context to how you become a Dream Eater? Hold it. Yeah, if the Dream Eater has darkness, it turns into a nightmare, right? So that says that Riku doesn't have darkness. But he does fight Nightmare Ventus in Sora's heart. So ultimately how I think this plays into the Yozora stuff, I was really curious if we were going to see anything about it at the end of this. We get it alluded to, obviously. It's pretty much confirmed that, well, this is really this is our development that we got was this. That's the development we got, which is good. This is something we can work with this. I still like it's an asterisk, it's a footnote, it's a reference. Like nobody in the fiction world sees this. It shows up in a little subtitle that says like, "Hey, senpai means senpai." You know, asterisk. Keikaku means plan. Which is only info that player has to know. Player started talking a shit ton near the end of Union Cross. That's also a thingy, I think. How does Soras Mom play into this? I don't think... It might come in somewhere, but I really don't think it's a big anything. If it is, that'd be hilarious. I would find it funny. But I think the meme of Sora's mom, for all we know, that could be a memory, a dream. Maybe Sora doesn't even have a mom. Yeah, presumably that was Xehanort's mom. Hand him over to Blue Coat person. Like, I'm just wondering what the connection between, like, what makes the player of Union Cross so special? Like, theoretically, we've played as the player, we've played as Sora, we've played as Riku, we've played as a Shadow, we've played as Kairi, we've played as technically every organization member. Do you play as Mickey ever? I don't know. I think it just shows up to help you. Wayfinder Trio. Sea Salt Trio. That's it. Right. Yeah, and Xehanort. Was there ever actually darkness in the player? Was that just a huge trick? There is darkness in the player because, well, at some point there was. Because the Nightmare Chirithy at the beginning, like near the, whatever, wherever the fuck it happens in the story, there's like the Chirithy and then the Nightmare Chirithy shows up. And then, like, turns into a whole big monster, and then the player kills it, and then Nightmare Chirithy is like, I'm finally severed or whatever from you. You just play as Xehanort in the mobile game. Yeah, I couldn't remember if mission mode let you play as Mickey. So theoretically, every single warrior of light, as it were, we've played as. Do you count Remind Mickey? I would. I'd say so. Yeah, Warriors of Light is a huge thing in Final Fantasy. Really big. Yeah, with Remind, you played they made a big deal about you playing everybody. That was like a whole thing. And you could do the same thing where if you died, you can continue as them. Which is big. Yeah, we've even played as Donald. Exactly, like all the people on the fucking box, also including Organization 13, we played as. Or you could play as in fucking, 358 and shit. Do people realistically think these stories and connections are that thought out, or is theorizing for the fun of it? I think yes to both. It's just fun. He's said in multiple interviews that he doesn't give answers because speculating is half the fun. And I agree. This is fun. I'm having a good time. I've been doing this for 2 hours now. This is fun. This is fun for me. And you know what? I think it's also like, I think there's something else to that as well, where like, you want to talk about fiction. This stays with you after the game is over. The game is living rent-free in your brain as long as you remember it. As long as you remember it, Sora's technically alive. Exactly, remember. I think he had, because at the end of 2 or 2 FM, there's that video, with of Aqua, Terra, and Ventus at the Keyblade Graveyard, but also I think people forget that there's all those buzzwords. So he clearly had some of it thought out, and he said like, he also had like, as well with fucking deep dive at the end of 1FM. He's like, I have a ton of ideas already for like what to do with it. So I'm sure he had a good bit of this planned out. Like realistically, let me put it this way, okay? Just think about it. Think about it like this, okay? If I make a puzzle for you, okay? Let's just say, I don't know. Let's make a big old fit. Okay, let's fill this in. White here. And then let's just draw like a little... We're going to make a pizza. And it's going to be, you know what, make it even better. It's going to be in a pizza box, even. Okay? It is an open pizza box. Okay? And then there's a little pizza inside, and it's cut to a bunch of pieces. Da-da-da-da. Right? Got a little dipping sauce. You got a little pepper here. In fact, it's on a table, and, you know, that table has a drink on it. I have somewhere to go with this, okay? Stay with me. And then it is steaming, right? And, you know, there's a person over here who's like, yes, that smells like good pizza. Okay. Got it? We have a picture, okay? Here's what we're going to do. So then, what happens when I do this? Okay. I hope this is going to illustrate the point. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Well, in the first game, well, let's say it might be even better illustrating. Let's say, you know, I do this. Okay. You played Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 1 is your pizza. We could already have, like, the concept of the pizza box and all this other stuff. But you only saw the pizza. Okay. You maybe didn't even see this shit over here. You didn't learn about nobodies yet. Now, you didn't learn about all this shit. You just learned about this stuff, right? But really, you know, maybe you only saw this part of it. But the more you learn, the more it fills in. And all Nomura does is he just strategically reveals parts at a time. I hope this makes sense. That, like, you might have a fraction of the big picture. Making a big picture is not difficult. Okay? This is not hard at all. Anybody can make a big picture story. You could do it as well. Kingdom Hearts is not that complicated. It really isn't that complicated. But it seems so because of not only just the way it's laid out in the games, the way like they reiterate things so many times in so many different words and cutscenes that it makes it seem like more dense than it really is. But just every time a game comes out, you get like a little more of the pizza back. Oh, you know what? A probably better way to do it would be this. Like you get a bit more of it every time. It's like first time we only got this. It's really not a stretch to say that he had this shit coming along because you also know what? Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix came out in what, 2005? The trailer for let's see, where was it? I have a date on this. The first, like, trailer for Versus 13, okay? This is uploaded in, like, 2008. Okay? So this whole thing with Noctis and this thing and the Nova Crystallis thing and here's Yozora in the car, right? Here's this thing. It's the same shit that we're seeing right now in Kingdom Hearts 3, but he got pulled off the fucking project and he's pissed. Okay? Is it really that hard to think that he had this thought up for such a long time? Hey, what's he doing here? He's sleeping. Okay? Yeah, the Versus 13 trailer came out a year after KH2FM, which means that it was already in the works by the time that it happened, okay? Exactly. What the fuck's he doing? He's sleeping on a fucking throne in the Kingdom Hearts pose, okay? This is videos are from 2008. I don't think it's that far-fetched to think that he thought of this shit already way long ago, okay? Yeah, the statues are like the ones in Scala, which is why this is where I thought this was going, by the way. When I was like, when Brain shows up here, yeah, at this, I thought this was what this was going to be. When I saw these little statues and stuff, this shit, I was like, oh my God, we're going to see like this, is this going to happen? Like we're going to see Brain like do this or something, you know? So that's the thing. You know, I think Kingdom Hearts gets a bad rap because of people like me and people on the internet who, make a big how-to-do about speculating about it. But the truth is, it's fun. It's fun to figure out what else is outside of the pizza. We just want to know. We just want to know what else is outside the pizza. It could be anything. And every time a new game comes out, we get a little bit more of the picture. We get a little bit more. We get a little bit more of the picture every time something comes out. And it's like, what is it? Where is the pizza? What's it on top of? Is there a person over here? Is it a hot pizza? Is it a cold pizza? I hope this analogy is making sense. That it's like, it really isn't that hard to take something and then remove all the puzzle pieces and then present it to somebody so it looks like nonsense. That is not difficult at all. If you've ever tried to make do a jumbo puzzle, little puzzle thingy, you know that you just see the fucking bag of puzzle pieces. You don't really see it until you're like, oh, well, first off, I gotta, do the corners. Okay, we're gonna fill in the corner pieces, and then we're gonna go from here. Well, in this case, this didn't really fucking do anything, but you know what I mean. And then we slowly start working our way in. Like, oh, okay, well, I got a bit more going on here. Okay, like it's making a thing is easy. Distributing the thing in a way that is fun and encourages people to speculate is very hard. And so I think some people could argue that he's done it poorly. They're like, fuck, just show me the pizza. God damn it, you've been sitting on Noctis for how many years now? 2007. 14 years? Show me the goddamn pizza. We know it's there. I see it. You showed me a bit of the pizza, show me the rest of it. Okay. So I don't think it's that much of a stretch to say that this, and like also there were interviews around this time where he was like, who are your favorite characters? And he said, Sora and Noctis. He has been thinking about this shit for a long time. I'm telling you. So, Yeah, what are the toppings on the pizza? Kingdom Hearts has many doors. I submit that you can't span a series over so many multiple platforms without it being fun to speculate. Totally, right. I think just the nature of this series also encourages a bunch of goofy shit. And just as time goes on, Also, what else was coming out around this time? When did another game come out? The World Ends With You came out in 2007. Is it really that hard to believe that he was thinking some of this stuff connected? Like, comic books already crossed over. We've seen the Marvel Cinematic Universe thing. If you've ever done anything creative, you know the feeling of, like, how fun it is to make your shit cross over. And Kingdom Hearts was already a crossover game on its own. I believe he had at least a good bit of this in mind, and he's pantsing the filling, and that's fine. But I think he has the skeleton in place. And he's just kind of figuring out the rest. Which is what fucking Oda does. Which is what plenty of other storytellers do. That's what like fucking Yoko Taro does. You come up with a moment that you want to do. You got a skeleton, and then you just pants the rest of it and fill it in. And, you know, there you go. And sometimes you're like, ah, shit, hang on, I gotta figure out how to work this in because I wasn't really paying attention. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't take away from the importance that is the skeleton. But it's fun to speculate what all the little meat on the bones is. Where does the hip bone connect to the fucking leg bone? Does the dick bone connect to the butt bone? How does it work? Let's put this together. It's fun. It's fun. I like it. So, realistically, does this matter? No. Does anything matter? Let's do it. We could play this game all day. I think it's fun. Yeah, Sora's getting into Smash if it's a lore reason. Is P stored in the balls? These are what we need to know, Nomura. Take off the hood. We know it's you. Just tell me. Aw, thanks. Now, y'all matter. I'm not a fucking nihilist. I thought I fucked with optimistic nihilism for a second, but I don't. That shit's lame. I think shit's cool. You're cool. Yeah, at a point too, I remember like there's one interview where he was like, surprisingly, everybody was pretty amicable to all the shit that I wanted to do. He was like, at a point, they just kind of let me do whatever. And I'm like, yes. Let him do whatever he wants. Trust him. He has us. We will carry it. Like 3 sold really well. Mm-hmm. Exactly. We have had games where CEOs are boss fights. We've already fought the fucking president of Square in Automata. They show up in The War Ends With You. Nomura is in The War Ends With You. If you guys don't remember. I mean, it's basically him. Let's be real. Trying to find it. Oh, hang on. I in my discoveries, I also found a fun little thingy. Okay. Did I dream this? Didn't this happen? Why can't I find it? Shit. Oh my god, I swear to God. She was like an NPC. Like you went up to on like week 3, I think. Am I getting Mandela? I know I've seen this. What the fuck? Is any of this for real or not? Yeah. Do you think Xehanort / we will come back to make up for the bad oopsies we done? Yeah, and I think we come back as Yuzora. I do think there will be a Verum Rex, a playable thing that is Verum Rex. What that is, I don't know. Maybe it might not be a whole game. Who fucking knows? Nah. There we go. Okay. Alright, well, I can't fucking find it. Yeah. Yuzora showed up after Xehanort died? Ooh, yeah. Are you really my Arcurian? Did you actually switch to our universe? Yeah. I hopped a world line. I thought we all knew over here. Also, OP, I see you with your fucking 51 months. I think that was, what, that was 14 minutes ago. I'm sorry, I missed it. I'm sure you're not caught up on everything, but this has undoubtedly been fun to remember. Take care. Thank you. I don't know if you're still here, but hey, thanks. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you. You have a good night, Ro Jr. Okay. He might be a prophet and he appears in Twewy Neo. Dude, if he does, I called it, right? All right. Is that... Hang on. Is that real? Holy shit, hang on. Chat. Chat, I didn't even realize this. I didn't even see this. Okay, so I don't know, I guess this is some article. My Nintendo News, Neo the World on 2 isn't connected to Kingdom Hearts 3. Game called chatted with okay. When asked if Neo 2 will include elements from Kingdom Hearts 3 and more, after a brief pause for thought, tersely and firmly replies, no, absolutely not. Zetai? At the same time, his colleagues laugh. According to him, both Shibuyas are independent worlds. I could believe that. The hint ending of Kingdom Hearts 3 seems to open the door to multiverse between the two franchises, while neither want to continue in this direction. There is no connection between the two. The area seen in Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Shibuya in Neo the World with You are two completely different places. I could believe this. I could believe this. But listen. I didn't even notice this. You see this little picture right here? See that? Okay. Not only the clothes, right? Right, this whole fucking thing. You can say it's a little style all you want, Nomura buddy. We're on to you. Okay. Look at this shit. I see you. See right through you. Okay. Yeah, exactly. They're on different world lines. Only if you, the player, use the power to jump between games and connect them. Reconnect. Put your copy of Neo Twewy inside your PlayStation 6. All right. See this up here? See that right there? Is it the same? It's not exactly the same. That's a very particular choice of sky, though. When everyone's like really bold to do basically the exact same sky on the cover of this game. One sky, one destiny. Okay, well, hang on. We have the technology. We can do it, chat. I don't think it's the same. But zoom. Enhance. Yeah, exactly. Right, the final world is shared between reality and fiction. It's pretty damn close. But the KH1, hang on. Chat, is this what this does to us? Is this what this does to us that we're fucking doing this? Look what this does to us. Exactly, Max. We love it. We eat this up. Stop shoving a burrito in the pizza box. No. I'm telling you, it's right there. Look, it's a burrito, clearly. Do you see it? Hold up, hold up. I'm looking for, like, shared images. Let me flip this. I'm like looking to see if, like, you know, like this little big guy is this little big little star somewhere. Like that's like the closest one, but I don't think it lines up perfectly. Like this, that gives it the most, like this is the most obvious looking one. It's like when you do this. Like that's pretty damn close. It's not exact. But like, come on, dude. Move this up a little. Oh, here we go. This is what we do. This is what we do. Like I see it. I don't think it's not the exact same image. I mean, it could be, and they just like covered up a layer from it. Like maybe this is the same canvas. Like they drew these stars over here and this clouds over there. They just removed the cloud and whatever. Like maybe it could be the same fucking PSD background generic star thing that somebody did. But that is a striking color palette to pick. And after him, the fact that they like he paused this little interview is like, nope, it has got nothing to do with it. They very well could still be unrelated, you know. Maybe. It's really close. It's really close. I haven't played a KH game, but I'm being amused by this. It's so fun. Do you see what's happening to us? Come join us. It's great. It's a great time. Tyler, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Koisplay, thank you for the 11 months. You don't have to do that. Did you watch it? Have you seen it? Yes, he said this specifically the Shibuya and Neo, not Toei as a whole. Which also, like, still, I think there's still some layer of, like, real ground, underground vibes, world line shit. Hold up. I don't like this song. This one's fun. Toei already has shit about different worlds. Exactly. So I've always seen KH, they might be the same one in Toei, but it could be a different realm at the same place, like underground and real ground. Yeah. Would Nomura lie to us for our own benefit? Maybe? I can see it, and I can see it going either way. I feel like I would comfortably bet, which isn't really a bet, because then I come out and I don't really lose anything. But like, I guess it'd be a coin flip for me, whether or not it's there. You're like, okay, $50. Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts Connection, Neo Toei, yes, no. I don't know, coin flip. I'd feel comfortable either way. Because there is merit to there not being it not being it. And like the way too, he also said, I think in an interview, he was like the Shibuya, he like wrote it in katakana. Shibuya interview Nomura Kingdom Hearts. Shibuya. Hey, here we go. Okay. Okay. What world are Sora and Riku in the secret movie? Both the epilogue and secret movie made quite the impact. Does what we see in the epilogue mean the characters from Union Cross have been revived? Yes, the Keyblade Masters from the distant past, known as the Foretellers, have transcended time specifically to gather once again. Zigbar 2 was once a foreteller, Lushu, who has been alive for a very long time, changing his form. We know he was Brain for a sec. Like, how did Brain end up in there? That's another thing, too. So is real Braig somewhere else? Is real Braig somewhere? That could lead into a whole bunch of fucky shit. You know? What about that? How does the process of him taking over bodies work? We don't really know. Zigbar says, I had a role to play, and after all these years, it's done. What was his role? He was directed by his mentor, someone called the Master of Masters, to make sure that the Keyblade entrusted to him was passed down into the future. This was tied to another mission, which will be made clear in a... here we go. He was directed by his mentor, someone called the Master of Masters, to make sure that the Keyblade entrusted to him was passed down into the future. This was tied to another mission, which will be made clear in a future game. I'm assuming this is Dark Road that he's talking about. And because we see Odin, right? Odin is a character who is very mysterious and also missing an eye. Lushu could be Odin. That is also a pretty popular theory. Xehanort Ericus is a teacher. Everyone asks that, but it's the key to the future games. We want to know what's in the black box. Everyone asks that, but it's the key to the future games. As the Master of Masters said in back cover, it's a surprise. Laughs. In the last part of the epilogue, 7 black pieces are brought out to be used in a new game. Do 6 of those represent the 6 apprentices of the Master of Masters? Yes. Who is the remaining one? It's someone you may be able to guess, but it's a secret. It's someone you might be able to guess, he says. So 6 of these are the apprentices of the Master of Masters. Confirmed. Yes, which I was thinking that. And then 13 lights versus the 7 darknesses, which, flip everything. Kingdom Hearts in reverse type theory. So is Sora the white piece? Well, maybe. Either way, the epilogue is hinting at what is to come after the Dark Seeker saga. Yeah, we're going to see the Light Seeker saga or something, or whatever. We see. Next, we'd like to ask about the secret movie. Does that scene follow on from the ending? Yes. When Sora disappears in the ending, so when he's on Destiny Islands and fucks off, he ends up in the world in the secret movie. Is Sora in the world of The World Ends With You? It does look like it, but there's more meaning in the fact that it is not Shibuya written in kanji, so like the kanji Shibuya, but Shibuya written with katakana. If you don't know what that means, like it's this whole thing where they have like 2 alphabets for here. Can I type it like in here? So like Shibuya in kanji. I don't know if you can even see that. It'd be like this, and then Shibuya in katakana. You'd get like a more like it's a different word visually. And usually katakana is used for writing foreign words, like I don't know, DVD, keyblade, right? They write that in katakana. Kingdom Hearts. But Shibuya wrote the katakana. Also, Sora promised Neku and the others in KH3D that he would meet them in Shibuya. Yeah, so Sora promised Neku and the others in 3D that he would meet them in Shibuya, written in katakana. So I'll have to go back and look at the Dream Drop cutscenes in Japanese, potentially, because I think they have subtitles for all of them, and see if they do that. But that doesn't mean it's directly connected. But that doesn't mean it's directly connected to this movie. Oh, okay. The scenery of the world Riku is in is also very exciting. It feels like it's trying to summon past memories. Yeah, fucking verses 13. The man looking down from the roof of the building looks a lot like Yozora from Verum Rex, the game that was popular in the Toybox world. Yeah, he's Yozora. So that means that's the world of Verum Rex. Okay, confirmed. Yes, that's right. I know the visuals have some people thinking it's the same as a title. Here we go. I know some people have been thinking it's the same as a title I had been working on in the past, but it isn't. There are parts of the unreleased project, verses 13, that have been cooking along inside me. So there's a chance that I may have some overlap of ideas, but Verum Rex is a completely different thing. Nobody knows what was in the project that wasn't released. Nobody knows what verses 13 is. So that's what I'm saying. Like, a bunch of his ideas are just going to be in this now. And Verum Rex doesn't even exist yet. Okay. So perhaps it's difficult to understand right now, but I will just say that they are different things and leave it at that. Yeah. See, it's difficult to understand. Different worlds, whole different thing. World lines. It could be all sorts of shit. Who was the person in the black robe who made a heart with their hands against the moon? The Master of Masters. Nobody else will be messing around while dressed like that. Yeah, so... and so that's whatever. Also, this, I don't remember if this is, I think this was confirmed. This looks like pieces of thingies, you know, of the building. This is actually people in, like, robed figures. That's not like a little piece. This is a person. And theoretically, this is could be like the you know, foreteller's master ship. Okay, cool, yeah. Well. So, other thing too is this. I don't know if something important is here, but there has literally been something important in, like, every cover so far. No, not every cover, but, you know, he likes to hide this shit. Also, this thing too, this... people like this little game theory. I like this little game theory. This is not, like, this could be dark or it could be transparent. This right here, like, this is filled in with a gradient. This is filled in with the gradient, a little darker here. And this one is, like, completely filled in at the end. And when you watch it, like, form, this one is, like, kind of like a hollow gradient here. And this could also be representative of, like, world line stuff like I was talking about. Like, these things, this could be talking about the world lines shit that I was going on about. You know, like, boop, boop, you know, darkness kills everybody and we die. Okay, jump, try it again. That didn't work. Jump. Okay, remind happens. You know, that could be that. It could be any of these things. But this, I guarantee, has some significance. I don't know what it is yet, though. Also, these being 13 lights on the cover, also pretty important with the way, like, things wrap up. Like, I wonder if there's anything with this. Because, like, this is not normal clock numbers. And, like, it's set to, what, 7? Yeah, it's set to 7 and 13. Which is always, like, our, like, little hands at 7, big hands at 13. Which has always been, like, really important in KH stuff. So. Could be anything. Could even be a boat. Oh, my God. That's a great one. Heretical Oracles. Thank you. Tier 2? I don't even have any benefits for Tier 2. I have literally nothing. I have literally nothing that you gain from doing Tier 2. But what the fuck? Thank you very much. Thank you for the sub. Welcome. Hello. Thank you very much. We have a Discord if you're sub. You can fucking hop on over there and chill out with us. You're welcome to. Also, Rocket Lamp, thank you for the 22 months. Late show. I know no Heart Kingdoms. Well, here. You just read this, and you'll know everything. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Get the numbers out of order and shit. Seeing out of context Kingdom Hearts info hat theories is funny. It's so good. I love this shit. Yeah. I still have some more stuff I want to go over. I have to like break down a little more into things. But this is fun. Some fun developments. I want to go back and look at Dream Drop. I want to look at Toy Box. I want to look at The What Ends With You. Like specifically like the data report things in fucking The What Ends With You. Talk about like shit that is kind of like Worldline stuff. And also like still like I didn't talk about this again. Kind of talked about this like earlier. The shit with like I still think Yozora has the power of sleeping. With just Sora turning into this thing, you know, this crystallized thing if he loses, which if you've played 13, when people see like, you know, they get weird contact with like this crazy god, and then if they don't do what, if they do or don't, I don't remember. It's either they do or don't do whatever the god said. They turn into a little crystal thingy, at which they're like they're sleeping in this little crystal state forever. I think it's if they do it, they turn into a little crystal thing. Either way, it sucks. Yeah, do. Poo. Pretty stinky. That's the reward for completing the focus? Okay. So, yeah. So, this could be Sora's reward, in a way. This could be Yozora just having this ability, you know, this god power to instill people with this state and shit. Who knows? It's both, yeah. Gotta go to bed, night all. I'll go look at Cage Insider's translation on YouTube as well, as they differ a bit from Everglow's, and they both give good info on both their watch, night nerds. I'll have to do that. The numbers are in clockwise order: 1, 6, 11, 4, 9, 2. Yeah, it's 7. Because it's hitting 7 and 13. 12, 5, 10, 3, 8, 13. Like, I don't know if there's any significance to that. Is it some wacky Caesar cipher stuff? I don't know. Yeah, you're even more dead. Kingdom Hearts is actually an ARG. Well, if you didn't know, you at home are a character in Kingdom Hearts. You might not know it. You might not be complicit in this fact, but you are real in Kingdom Hearts world. It counts up every 5 notches, but skips 1. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay. I see. Not sure it was forever. I think a couple of them came back in 13 after the crystal phase. I didn't fucking beat it, so I don't know. You are a Kingdom Heart. But yeah. This is fun. Fun little speculating theory thingies. I think Kingdom Hearts is going to be real fun. That Union Cross finale was really cool. There's still some unanswered things. Is that Xehanort that shows up to Ventus? I think it's probably what turns into Vanitas. Like, we don't see it. I don't see why they would hide Xehanort in shadow. And, like, we still kind of didn't see that, like, did Ventus contain darkness when they fought in the data world? Question mark. I don't know. Yeah, Goofy's your little brother who you hand the Mad Catz controller to. Because we're Xehanort. Xehanort scrambled up spells your Moonstone. Big whoa. Replaying KH and being at various versions of Xehanort is going to feel weird now. I know. I really like it. I like how much that changes stuff. It's really cool. I played Vagrant Story. I've not played Vagrant Story. FF13 gods could actually talk, but love trolling people and making Chris use statues for evil lulls. Yeah. We'll see you complete their focus, stay crystallized forever, unless the gods interfere and change reality. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I thought they remained crystallized forever, but I wasn't sure. Like I said, I didn't beat 13. I didn't play fucking 13, 2 or 3. But yeah, all that shit being part of the Fabula Nova Crystallis thing. Whoa, dude. It's all gonna matter. Your nobody name? My nobody name is Narix. The first time I streamed Final Fantasy 13. Real ones remember that. I think Frank is the OG. Frank was watching me when I played. I was streaming 13 on YouTube before I jumped over to Twitch years later. Yeah, you're a fake one. I'm sorry. Yeah, the two-part series. Oh, you were there, OP? Oh man, there are some real ones in here. Yeah, I could see you. Yeah, you're a fictional one. I thought it was okay. It just I made this whole diagram too of like I did the same thing of trying to understand the lore. I only understand so much of the lore in how little I played 13 because I like broke away to read the wiki because like what the fuck are these things? What's a focus? What's a fal'C? What's a lul'C? Why do you pick the worst words imaginable to talk about this bullshit? How does Dream Drop Kieran play into it? Well, he's sleeping right now. But he could be my Dream Eater from when I die in the future. But there's going to be a data backup of me, so the data one's going to have a heart and come back from the past future. I'm not playing Dream Drop right now. I wanted to get some fucking game shit done, but like, man, I don't know. I feel like it's a little late and I've been already doing this for a sec. I really just wanted to fucking do this stuff, but I need to work on game stuff so bad. I haven't touched it in like 3 weeks. But I don't know. My brain's kind of fried. Any Shadow of the Colossus theories? I do. I have a few of them. Kayla? Scarlet's a real one. Kayla's a good one to remember. Yeah, no, 13 has some crazy shit. I don't think 13 is great, but I also don't think it's as bad as people say it is. It's very dense to be dense. It doesn't need to be. Quinn, thank you for the 41 months. Oh no, I've been missing out on theory crafting. Yeah, fucking two and a half hours of watching the Union Cross finale and being little nerds. Kayla's the Master of Masters. I like it. I like it. Pack openings as card dev. It's all research, man. 13.3 does have the world reborn as it dies. Ooh, that's interesting. You could argue that kind of already happens. Like, I don't know if Ephemer built up Scala with his own two hands, or if he did some little magic and then, like, everything kind of, flipped alive. There's some shit there, too, with, worlds sleeping, darkness, dream worlds. There's so much bullshit that you could go into with that stuff. But frankly, like, I think the moral of the story is somehow and in some way, all of this stuff connects. Like, you get it, right? Somehow, some way, all of this shit goes everywhere. Okay? That is all. And like, just, we have been seeing a shit ton of things that are like illustrating them one at a time. I'm just like, but frankly, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care about this stuff. You can't tell me about fiction and just stop and just forget that. I do think dreaming worlds, fucking sleep-ass worlds are still going to be important, obviously, because they all tie into this, which ties into this. But like, I am way more interested in what's over here. Fuck this. I've seen too much of this. I've seen fucking, how long has it been? 20 years? I've seen 20 years of this. I'm good. I want to see, give me 20 years of this, Nomura. I want you to be making this till you're 70. Give me 20 years of this. Yeah, fucking Sonny Novus is really, he's really good. If I had nothing else to do, I would be putting in a similar amount of effort into making Kingdom Hearts videos. That is not me. That sounded really shitty. That sounded like me jabbing at him. No, I love what he's doing. I wish I had the time to do nice illustrated videos instead of a 2.5 hour stream where I'm running on Photoshop like Teehee, here's. I hope you're following.